Right, we're going to start the recording 3, 2, 1 now, and welcome to Slav Racing. Mental Sun on pole position with a 1 minute 27.5. We have Flobbelob a little bit behind with a 128.3. Can't see the thing. Anyway, we have G Shifty a mere 2/10 behind Flobbelob. We have Bryus a mere 2/10 behind Derek Quay. Behind G Shifty. Derek Quay is a mere 3/10 behind Bryus, as the Demonic Assassin 2/10 behind Derek Quay. Anarchy a 10th behind Demonic Assassin, and we have Benold and then Raikkonen, then Christy. As the bottom 5 haven't set a lap time yet. That's Luco Siux, Alan, K9 Cube, Psycho, and Mr. Tower, who have all not set a lap yet. And it looks like Demonic Assassin's he on a lap? No, he's not. He's backing off of his lap at the moment. We have Anarchy, we have K9 Cube taking a very adventurous line, heading round turn 1 and 2. Techno beg, as Techno Mum might actually see the Facebook Live. Oh no. So anyway, we have Anarchy and K9 Cube. That's Anarchy being passed by one that passes. We have, who was that just went up the order? That was Luco Siux up to P4. Good luck by him here in Bahrain. What on earth's happened with the Aston Martin Benold? He's doing weaving in the pit lane, as currently here in qualifying. Currently a good session so far. We got 8 minutes 12 seconds to go in the session. We have one of the McLarens ending an out lap. We're going to do a lap with with G Shifty, should I say, Graham Shifty for short, or for long, should I say. So with the McLaren, with the orange all over the screen, you can see now G Shifty on the onboard lap. There we go. G Shifty on the onboard lap, see what he does. He goes into turn 1, hard on the brakes, tipping it around turn 1. Now balance the car through turn 2, try not get it loose, and then go up the University Straight into turn 4. Hard on the brakes, 80 yards away from the corner. Carry the car through the corner. Careful over the bump on the exit, as it can unsettle the car. Now heading into the S's. Carry as much speed as you dare through here without going too wide or losing the car. Into the turn 8 braking zone. Hard on the brakes and then careful. Gently stroke the throttle like it's your nan's cat. As now heading round turn 9 and 10. You can hear the rear of the car locking under braking down the hill. That's going to hurt the tyres, but it got the car slowed down enough. Graham Shifty currently just under a second away from Mental Sun's pole time, as Mental Sun, who is leading the championship at the moment, I believe. Now looking as G Shifty setting a fastest second sector, going 3/10 up. This could put him ahead of Flobbelob. It might not put him near Mental Sun though. So let's see, as he heads into the final corner, hard on the brakes, carry the car out, flat on the throttle, and over the line for Graham Shifty, who goes to P2 and goes 7/10 away from Mental Sun. That's a decent lap by the McLaren, the Chrome McLaren, as Bryus slots in a mere 0.004 of a second behind. That is incredible. Just as normal here in Slav Racing. We have Mental Sun setting the pace, being a mere over half a second away from the field, and we have the people battling for P2 as close as you can be to each other. Incredible. 0.004 of a second from the Mercedes to the McLaren. We have one of the Alpines going a little bit slowly here. Oh no, that's a Williams of Alan, who's come to a stop in the middle of turn 5. He rejoins the track. Nicely done there by him. As is Alan. Good to see from the rear of the Williams. We're going to have a look at Benold's now. No, we're not. We're going to have a look at Flobbelob, who's gone 2/10 up. So he's back ahead of G Shifty. So G Shifty now in 3rd. Bryce down to 4th. Flobbelob back to 2nd. Getting closer to Mental Sun's time, but not close enough. As, let's see. Thanks, Techno. So we have G-Shifty. What else is happening here? We have Raikkonen P12 at the moment. 2/10 away from the guy ahead of him, 2/10 ahead of the guy behind him. Williams being one of the beloved backmarkers of this league at the moment, as we head through. What's that? Oh, shoot, I saw something that said finish. I thought it meant like save changes or something. I nearly just ended I didn't end it though, but that was good. Comments will appear here. I haven't seen any comments yet in the Facebook stream. I'm seeing loads in the Twitch chat though, which is appreciated. We have... Is Benoit on a lap? He is. Benoit is on a lap, so is Flobberlob, although he might be coming in the pits. He is. We have... Is Benoit then? Let's see what kind of lap he does. As Raikkonen... Is he on a lap? I can't tell. I don't think he is, so we're going to keep with Benoit here. Currently a 10th up. Over a 10th up on his lap so far. Is he going to make any amends for his position at the moment? He's currently P13, 2/10 away from Raikkonen in that green Aston Martin. Is now into turn 11. Just careful with the car. Most of these corners you brake quite hard, but then you just go early on the throttle and just gently put the throttle on the car until you find the grip. But Benoit currently P13, but he's invalidated on his lap. That's why you're seeing the red minimap as the... I've just seen the things mirrored. If I did that, would it unmirror it? Yes, it would. That's not mirrored anymore, so that's a lot better. Or it should, or is it mirrored? I can't tell. No, it isn't mirrored, is it? I don't know. I'm a bit confused. As when did Kimi join F1 and go to Aston Martin? Kimi, he's in Williams. Does it tell you? No, doesn't tell you. Okay. Well, hello, viewer. Right, I'm gonna put that back there so that it doesn't push any buttons. Come on. Come on. Don't fall. Don't fall. There we go. Thank you. Right, let me just check the recording. It's all good for another 2 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna restart recording now. I have to do this a lot today. I'm gonna swap controllers. I'm gonna just use my wheel for today, because my controllers are being a little bit silly. Right. Here we go. 1:05. Welcome back to qualifying for Slav Tour Racing League. As I've just had to restart the recording again. So to those on YouTube, hello again. To those on the lives, hello again. No sound. Don't know why there was no sound. There should be sound, but yeah, if that problem does occur again, let me know. As heading down the straight, then we have Bryce currently trying to set a good lap. We have Mental Sun also looking for a good lap. We have Luco Sierks. Let's see what kind of lap he does then. As yes, I am using the steering wheel to control this thing today, but never mind. As we have, he's 500th up, it's Luco Sierks. That could mean he goes ahead of Bryce. If he finds another 3/10 of a second, he could go ahead of Bryce or maybe even G-Shifty at this rate. As G-Shifty, I think he's entering turn 1. Derek Way ending his outlap. Let's have a look at what one of the Williams are doing though. Raikkonen, no, that's Allen, who's ending an invalid lap. We have Benoit then in the Aston Martin. Doesn't look like he's on a fast lap. Oh no, he is, never mind. He's going over the line. What kind of lap does he set? A 129.5. That puts him in P10 by the end of the session. Bryce is disconnected. That ends his run in qualifying. He will start P4 at best. But Luko Siux looks like he's going to change that, because he's 4/10 up on his lap so far, and providing that he gets out of the last corner in a fast manner, he can go over the line in that Scuderia Ferrari and take P5. Never mind, he's a mere 600 behind Bryce. Anarchy doing a decent lap, a 128.8. That gets immediately beaten by the Alpine of Demonic Assassin. Mental Sun doesn't look like he improved on his time, as we have one of the Haas's going over the line. Mr. Tower going up to P6. The third man to go up into P6 consecutively. As we have G Shifty now. Does he improve on his lap? Can he go to P2? No, he can't. 200ths of a second behind. He's 200ths. He's third place, should I say. As we have Flobberloppo with an invalid lap, and it would have been enough to extend his margin in P2, but he wouldn't have gone up, he wouldn't have gone down. Next up is K9 Cube. He will be the last man to cross the line, and he is pitting after a bad lap. That is the end of qualifying for Slav Talk Racing League here in Bahrain, unless Alan can do a bad lap, and he's crashed it. Oh my lordy lord. That is a huge crash, and that is not the sight you want to see if you're James Vowles or a Williams fan. So, this is the race director. This is just because the owner of the league would like to see the race director, or for qualifying at least. There we go. So that's done. We're just waiting on K9 Cube to go back into his pit box. And that should be the end of qualifying. There we go. So Mental Sun takes pole position by a stunning amount in the V-Carb, ahead of many others in the field. Flobberlob close behind him, the Championship 3 in the top 4, and Graham Shifty poking his nose in that wad of cars. It is half a second separating Mental Sun from Flobberlob. That quali pace of Mental Sun has proved him good earlier in the season, such as in Brazil and not Austria. What was the other race he won? Monza. But his race pace, can it help him out today here in Bahrain? The tyre degradation looks to be high today, so we'll see what can be made of these drivers. There we go. I can restart the recording now. There we go. Well, I may as well do a little bit of promo, shouldn't I? I might do promo. So before the race starts, actually, I can move that around a bit. So you can see my mug instead of a telly with a Bahrain on it. So if you want, you can tune into Ocean City Radio for Joe's radio show, a little weekly recap on motorsport throughout the week. But it isn't just strictly to motorsport. You know, I talk about, like, this week I'm going to talk about Brit Awards. Joe praying Ollie Behrman wins World Drivers' Championship. Yes, I am praying, Max. Where's my hat? Where did my Ollie Behrman hat go? I threw it somewhere earlier. It's in the other room, innit? It's in the other room, never mind. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Formation lap. Right, here we go. I need to turn that round. Thank you to Ocean City Radio for Joe's radio show, Friday 12 till 2. That's my stuff done. Saw Joe. What? Techno, you're a madman. Right, so is the formation lap then. Don't really need any of the data. Psycho and K9 Cube have already been reset to the grid for contact. As now there's a big gap in the field. As we have the Williams of Allen. And around we have Mental Sun, Flobberlob, G Shifty. We have the Mercedes, who's ghosted. That could mean we could see a bad start for Bryce due to reliability issues for the Mercedes in regards to his Wi-Fi connection to the server. We have the Ferrari ahead of the Ferrari-powered Toyota-branded Haas car of Mr. Towers, who has been quite quick this season. He's been one of the best midfield drivers in the entire league. So we have Demonic Assassin. I think he might be one of the more newer drivers in this session today. We have Derek Quay in P8. He's been a good second. He's been a good handyman in McLaren. He's been a good support to G Shifty during this league. We have We have Anarchy, who is supposed to be in P9, but is now way back in the field. Not too sure what he's doing there. He's probably trying to keep his tyres or brakes warm. I'm not too sure. As we have Bernolds in P10. So we see all the cars weaving away, trying to warm their tyres and their brakes, get temperature into the car for the start of the race. We have the 99 Aston Martin versus the 88 V-Carb at the start. Who will win? Get your predictions in now, because otherwise we are going to be live. So here we go. We're going to go to blue lights, then red, then green when the lights go out. And if there's a crash, we'll go to yellow. Here we go then. All the cars lining up on the grid. We're waiting on the Williams at the back there of Allen to form up on the grid. And then we will go green flag for Bahrain here in Slav Talk Racing League. There are plenty of people who can talk the talk, but can they, well, not walk the walk, can they drive the talk into a good result? Let's have a look then. 5 lights on. 5 on now, and we are away for Slav Talk Racing League. It's a bad start for Christy already, as now heading into turn 1. Mental Sun into turn 1, keeps the lead ahead of Flobbelob. Then comes the Mercedes on the soft tyres. That's Bryus getting ahead of Graham Shifty. 3 wide further back in contact with Luxiux. Great start from, as there's a car off. Yellow flag further back in the pack. That is the Haas of Psycho, and also Raikkonen in the other Williams, who went off at turn 3. But further up in the pack we have the Sauber of Anarchy side by side with Derek Quay in the number 11. We have more chaos as Christy spins at turn 4, but we would look at that if we weren't looking at the incredible battles further up the field with the Saubers, the McLaren and the Ferrari. As K9 Cube has to watch out, because down the inside goes Luxiux. He goes for the move and makes it stick. Or does he? Because there's contact with the Sauber of K9 Cube. As now the Sauber back up into P8. And now, is that Mr. Towers now going round the outside, looking for a move on the Ferrari, but not making it stick. As now, heading out here, we have the Haas now. We have to watch out for the Williams now. He's bearing down the Haas's neck. The number 71 Haas car of Mr. Towers looking for a move on Luxiux. The Saubers swap places, so K9 Cube now up into 7th, ahead of his teammate Anarchy, who is down in P8. As Mental Sun leads for V-Carb and takes the fastest lap with a 1:33. We have Flobbelob, who's in second. His teammate just dived into the pits of Benolds. Now, K9 Cube's teammate is being passed by Luxiux, who is down the inside into turn 1, and is he going to make the move on the exit? No, he is, and there's contact, and Anarchy gets spun slightly, and now he's side by side with Allen, heading up into turn 4, but the Scuderia Ferrari hits off the Sauber Audi on the exit of turn 3, as now we have, further up the field, we have the Alpine of Demonic Assassin, who has done a good start, but he's looking to make amends to get ahead of G Shifty. He's got past one McLaren. He's now looking to get past another here in Bahrain. We're on board with the pink Alpine. As we head down, we have one of the Saubers. I think Anarchy is about to be passed by Allen down into turn 11. Nicely done there by the Williams, who gets ahead of the Sauber of Anarchy. Anarchy, though, able to keep ahead. He's fallen behind, should I say, not kept ahead. My bad. As round for one of the Haas cars. That is Mr. Towers. What a shame for the Haas driver who made such a promising start, setting himself up for a great race later on, but spun coming out of turn 13. Not too sure what happened there, but we head down the straight. As is the green Sauber going to make the move into turn 1? We are firmly in green flag conditions now, and hence the reason for the green light. And now the green car of K9 Cube now looking to get the McLaren of Derek Quay. Meanwhile, the other McLaren not able to make a move as the other Sauber of Anarchy gets back ahead of Alan, heading out of turn 3. We saw that in the background slightly, and good stuff there by Anarchy to get ahead. Meanwhile, Mental Sun, Flobbelob, and Bryus all separated by 2 seconds. As meanwhile, there's a big gaggle of cars here looking to keep battling here in Slav Talk Racing League, but no one making moves, as this is the annoying bit. Right, so heading down into turn 11. Welcome back. As now we have the Haas hit of Mr. Towers making amends for spinning earlier on. He's now got the move stick, and now Alan goes wide in the Williams. Incredible stuff there. As meanwhile, we have the Alpine, we have the Sauber. It's a big gaggle of cars. Big gaggle of about 4 cars here. 5 cars, should I say. Battling for P4 and all lower. We have Luco Sioux getting ahead of the second Sauber. As we also have G Shifty getting ahead of Demonic Assassin for 4th place. As heading out of turn 3, we have decent racers. We have the Williams swapping places. Alan looks like he's gone off, I think. There's grass on his tyres. Well, there was grass on his tyres, but it looks like it's gone off now. But yeah, Alan. So a lot of people setting themselves up nicely and then just making mistakes very unexpectedly. So that is odd. As meanwhile, the 2 McLarens here trying to work out a way to get both cars ahead of Demonic Assassin. Meanwhile, the Ferrari battling the Sauber Audi. That's the Hasselhoff, and again, it's Mr. Tower, who was just starting to recover from his first spin at turn 13 2 laps ago, and is now trying to recover from a second spin. Meanwhile, Alan now goes off for a 3rd time and goes behind Psycho Leds. Mr. Tower also goes ahead of the Williams to make it both Hasses in the top 12. As now we have the McLaren here. Now DRS is going to be enabled down the straight. Who is going to be able to make the biggest gain heading down the straight? Let's have a look here. As DRS for the Alpine. Is he going to make a move? Let's have a look. This has the potential to be a 3-way battle into turn 1, but they all go very conservative. No moves are made. So G Shifty on the hard tyre, which is the slower tyre in the race, and the Alpine and the orange McLaren behind are both on medium tyres, yellow coloured tyres, which are a little bit faster than the hard tyres, although the red tyres that the Sauber was on was the fastest, but they've probably already degraded now. As we have into the next corner. No move being made as of yet. The leaders, they're getting closer to each other, but not close enough for a move. The Hasses have swapped places, and Alan is now ahead of Mr. Tower. Not too sure what's happened there. Has Mr. Tower got damage? He has. On the front, on driver's right, the wall, the sidewall part of the front wing is missing from Mr. Tower's car. As you can see, that part is on Psycho Led's car. As also the Williams, he might have damage, but I'm not too sure. He doesn't have damage, at least from this angle. As now we have a look to the leaders here. Is a move going to be made? This is the closest they've been all race. Remember Monza? Any Slav Talk Racing fans, remember Monza when Mental Sun passed Flobbelob at the end of the race to take the win with 2 laps to go? Well, we could have the reverse of that this time round. as Flobbelob, who has been ahead of Mental Sun many times, who has been behind Mental Sun a bunch of times, is now down the inside. What's happened to Demonic Assassin? He's trying to defend from Derek Quay, who now finally makes a move on the Alpine. It looks like the Alpine got a little bit loose there, but now the McLaren looking to go dancing around the outside, but he doesn't. He has to cut back underneath to the inside, but no overtake is made. The Ferrari looking at this, looking to maybe make a move, but no, nothing made of it yet. Up the hill for Flobbelob. Is he going to make a move stick? No, he's nowhere near close enough. The McLaren here of Derek Quay now, with Demonic Assassin in between the two of them. We have the Williams here, who's in between two Haas's. We have the Alpine here, who is in between two McLaren. We have the Ferrari of Luco Sirks, who just got out of being in between both Saubers. But yeah, this is a tricky position for Demonic Assassin. He has to be the hunter and the hunted at this rate, as he's got a McLaren ahead of him, but also a McLaren behind him, both looking very close. As G Shifty not able to pull away yet, but Derek Quay now bearing down his neck, as into the pits for Bryos on the soft tyres, as there's a yellow flag, not too sure why. It's one of the Haas cars. It's Mr. Tower again spinning off. That's his third spin today. Incredible. But Bryos, the first man in the pits after Bernald's, and let's see if this strategy works out for him. What tyres has he gone on? It looks like medium tyres, but he's going to come out behind Alan. He would have come out behind Mr. Tower, but Mr. Tower has just pitted and got a penalty and now retired. We have a retirement from the session. That is Mr. Towers, but he's in the pit lane, so there shouldn't be a safety car. We have Alan going a bit deep into turn 4. We have the McLaren of Derek Quay looking to make a move on Demonic Assassin. We have Psycho Leds getting a penalty for track limit violations. And in amongst all of this, it looks like they've all settled down now. But this battle between Derek Quay and Demonic Assassin is the closest battle on track, according to the telemetry, from what I can see. Luco Siuk's actually getting very close as well to Derek Quay, so it looks like Quay and Assassin are going away from each other, and Siuk's and Quay are getting close, but also G Shifty and Demonic Assassin are getting closer as well. But this 4 now have some work to do, as Alan now round again on the exit of turn 10. Incredible stuff there. Now there's a battle forming here between Christy and Bernald's. Is Bernald's going to make a move stick? No. He got close, but not close enough. Meanwhile, his teammate Flobbelob nowhere near close enough for a move for the lead of the race. These 4 now looking to, it looks like they're going to try to use strategy to get ahead of one another. As down the pit lane for Alan here, he goes from the medium tyres onto, are they hard tyres? Or are they another set? They look like hard tyres. I can't tell if they're another set of mediums, but that is Raikkonen in the pits. Now coming out, is he going to come out ahead of the Alpine and the Aston Martin? He is, but Christy has to defend. This is the battle for last place in this race, and it goes in favour of Bernald, who goes up into 13th, Christy in 14th, and incredible stuff there. We have off the track, what else happened to the Alpine of Demonic Assassin? He's slowing down. Reliability issues for Demonic Assassin. The Alpine trundling along the straight. He looks like he's back now, but that could have been a controller disconnection then for the Alpine of Demonic Assassin. Hello Arimus. Arimus, he's the owner of the league. Hello also to, oh hello Luis. That's cool. So, but yeah, we have Arimus. What you've missed so far, you've missed oh wow, you just missed Derek Quay going into the pits because of me. You've also, now we're looking at K9Q going into the pits as well. But what you've missed so far is Mental Sun took pole. He's led from the start. Flobblob's been trailing behind him. Bryce started on the softs. He pit and now is in 10th and looking to make amends in this pit stop run. here on lap 9 of 29. You've got G Shifty, who was battling with Demonic Assassin, who in turn was battling with Derek Quay, who's just pit. He was also battling with Luco Sioux, who has got ahead of both Demonic Assassin and Derek Quay now, and it looks like Luco Sioux, well, he's 1.8 seconds away from G Shifty now, which is good. We also had we had a lot of spins from Alan and a lot of spins from the now retired Mr. Towers. So 14 cars remain out of the 15 cars that started. Here, 9. Hang on, I need to do sound sync. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And into turn 9. Under braking, hit the apex of turn 10 there. And then go out of the straight. So K9Q trying to catch up to Alan. Bring them on the camera. Bring him on the camera. We have. Oh, do you mean the Twitch chatters? I would, but they're on Twitch and they're on the camera behind you. Yes, I am. That's why I'm recording it. I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna put this with a YouTube of the recordings. As look at that side by side between the Mercedes of Bryce, who gets ahead of Psycho Leds, heading into turn 1 here on lap 10. He's clearing cars. He's on the hard tyres. He started on the softs, now on the hards. Will this strategy work for him? Also, Alan now getting ahead of K9 Cube. Yes, you will be able to watch it back. It might take a day or two. Because I've got to edit it together, you see. So, Alan and K9 Cube side by side, nearly making contact through turn 2 and 3. Now they're blasting down the University straight into turn 4. And, he looks for the move on the inside, locks the race slightly, but doesn't make a move. Alan, P11, as K9Q, P10 at the moment. As now, we have Flobberlob here, 3 seconds away from the leader. We have G Shifty, 7.4 seconds away from Flobberlob. We have 1.2 seconds between Luco Slux and G Shifty. We have then a further 8 seconds between Demonic Assassin and Luco Sioux. As Mental Sun pits. What tyres does he go on? He is on the medium tyres, but he's going to pit onto a set of, let's see, are they hard tyres? They are. Hard tyres for Mental Sun. Out of the pits he goes. And he will come out behind Demonic Assassin. And it's going to be tight between him and Anarchy, but he does get ahead of Anarchy. So Mental Sun goes from 1st to 5th in the pit stop. I'm going to put on the telemetry just to see who has pitted yet or not. So Mental Sun leading the cars that have pitted, as he's currently behind 4 cars that haven't pit yet. So Flobberlob, as also the Williams have swapped places because Alan is in the pits. And after spinning many times, I'm surprised that his medium tyres didn't puncture. But we have Bernald's getting ahead of Alan as well. And now Alan's going to go behind Christy and into P14, which is last of the runners at this point. Got Flobberlob at the moment as well in the lead. But will he be in the lead after the pit stop run? I highly doubt it. Let's see. We're gonna ride on board with Flobberlob then into the last corner. Round he goes, nicely done. Now, is he gonna pit? Is he gonna react? No, he isn't. He stays out. Flobberlob is staying out longer on those medium tyres. How about G Shifty? Is he gonna pit? No, he doesn't. But Luco Sioux does. This could be an overcut attempt by Luco Sioux. So if he pits and G Shifty pits, G Shifty is now gonna have to push no matter what. Because otherwise, Luco Sioux, if he has the pace, he might be able to leapfrog G Shifty in the pit stop run. Meanwhile, Mental Sun goes he goes ahead of one of the Alpines, that's Demonic Assassin. He goes up into what would have been P4, but because of the pit stop for Luco Sioux, that becomes P3. Demonic Assassin hasn't pit yet, so either way, Mental Sun was going to be ahead of Demonic Assassin. We have G Shifty in P2. 6.5 seconds away from Flobberlob here on lap 12. Flobberlob, the leader, going down into turn 11, should I say, not P11. As we have the McLaren of Derek Quaid catching up to Psycho Leds, who hasn't pit yet. As also Luco Siux, who pit. Luco Siux came out behind Derek Quay, so this might be good for McLaren, because this might mean G-Shifty can pit and have more of a chance of coming out ahead of Luco Siux because of this defending. But Luco Siux does have DRS, which will help his lap times out. As down the inside for Derek Way, he gets ahead of Psycho Leds, but Psycho Leds goes for a switchback and takes the position back with authority again. Incredible stuff. As Derek Quay now under pressure from the Ferrari, we're going to cut away from this because Flobberlob is in the pits. So is Graham Shifty. Mental Sun takes the lead again. Also the Alpine of Demonic Assassin, he pits. That means Anarchy goes up into P... Is that going to be P2? It is. Anarchy hasn't pit yet, and this leaves him in P2. Bryus ahead of Flobberlob in the pit stop run, but his tyres are going to be more worn. So it'll be interesting to see if he can stay ahead of Flobberlob or not, because Flobberlob is on the fresher tyres. You have side by side between the Ferrari and the McLaren of Derek Quay, and it looks like Luco Siux has gone from P8 up 2 places into P6. I love how I held up the number 4 to the camera there. As we head through, Derek Quay ahead of Psycho Leds. Yep, I'll get a picture of the results. I got the qualifying results in Race Director, so I'll get the one from the race as well, no problem, Arimus. As we have the Mercedes here of Bryus trying to get ahead of Anarchy, who hasn't pit yet, but all the while Flobberlob is getting a lot closer. Meanwhile, the McLaren Derek Quay getting very close to the back of the Ferrari. So it's a battle between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin for what will be P2 once Anarchy pits as off. Who's that? That's Alan. And has he hit the wall? It looks like he missed it. But he spun on the exit of turn 4, similar to Sebastian Vettel's spin in 2019 in real life in the Bahrain Grand Prix, when he spun battling Lewis Hamilton. It's a similar story for Alan. As meanwhile, down the straight, Bryus up into P2 ahead of Anarchy, who is now down into P3. As now Flobberlob now has an extra car to get ahead of, as Psycho becomes the second Haas driver to get a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Mr. Tower done it before retiring in the pit lane. Psycho has done it, and it doesn't look like he's retiring yet. As Psycho now, he's going to come out behind Raikkonen, and he's going to come out ahead of Bernard by a lot. As now, let's see, that's Derek Quay, who is behind the Ferrari. Is now Flobberlob going side by side with Anarchy. Anarchy doesn't fight it that much as he's on older tyres. But let's see, can Flobberlob catch back up? He lost about 1.7. He's lost about half a second, or over half a second, to Bryus trying to overtake Anarchy. So now he's got to close, but he is on fresher tyres, so he should be able to close. But here on lap 14, soon to be 15, because Mental Sun is coming up to the final corner about now, as we have Bryus ahead of Flobberlob, as we have Anarchy. Now let's see if he comes into the pits, and if he does, let's see where he comes out in this next phase. There we go. That's just me checking the recording time left on the Xbox before it cuts off, and I have to restart the recording again, or redo the recording again, set up a new recording. Let's see. Yeah, as meanwhile we have, who's gone off is Basil Williams of Allen again, off on the the short layout pit straight, the other pit straight, the one before turn 11. The short circuit pit straight has a victim, and it is Alan, who is currently in P14, heading up into turn 13. As we have down the inside for Graham Shifty on Anarchy, as Anarchy now being passed by the McLaren, and the McLaren of G Shifty up into P5 P4 ahead of Anarchy, who is in P5. As meanwhile, Derek Quay. Hey, sorry, I'm tired. Anyway, we have Christy ahead of Alan, both of them in the pits. That means it's Mendelson. Oh, Alan retires in the pit lane. So we have 13 cars left out of the 15 that started here in the... Here we go. Oh, wait. 3, 2, 1, now. So we're back for the Bahrain Grand Prix here in Slav Talk Racing League, lap 17 of 29. This is the, I think, third recording, as Anarchy finally comes into the pits after staying out longer than anyone else in this race. Let's see what tyres he puts on. I suspect medium tyres, but I could be wrong. Lap 17 of 29 at the moment, so yeah, it is medium tyres for for Anarchy, should I say. Is that potentially a one-stop strategy by the Sauber? Not too sure. It could be, though, because everyone else pitted a lot earlier to make room for what could be a second pit stop in their races. But Anarchy has stayed out the entire time up until lap 17 on those hard tyres, which is something no one else has been able to do. But Flobberlob getting closer. His teammate in the pits, Bernolds, he's in the pit lane, putting on a new set of tyres. 0.6 of a second separating Bryus from Flobberlob. Flobberlob looking to get up into P2, but will it happen? For those who don't know, Bryus and Flobberlob, this isn't the first time they've met this season. Belgium, they battled up until the final corner before penalty stopped what would have been a photo finish between Bryus and Flobberlob, but Bryus won in the end. Flobberlob ended up winning in Austria ahead of Mental Sun, but Bryus, Flobberlob and Mental Sun all challenging for the World Drivers' Championship in this. If he makes the one stop, it's definitely quicker by a mile, says Arimus. Should have pitted lap 19. He'd have been flying till the end. Yeah, I would have been surprised if he had made it, though. It's down the inside for Flobberlob. Is he going to make the move for P2? He does! He gets ahead of Bryus. And Bryus now down into P3. And that strategy hasn't worked for Bryus. And it looks like he's going to have to pit again. But what tyres does he go on? Does he have another set of softs? As Anarchy gets ahead of Raikkonen in the Williams. So that puts the Sauber into P9, puts the Williams down into P10. The Raikkonen, Psycho, Bernolds and Christy all in the bottom 4 positions, and they all have penalties as well. But the top 9 all don't have penalties and don't have to worry about them for now, unless they get some. Actually, I'm wrong, because Bryus has just got a 3-second penalty just as I say that. Incredible. As Mental Sun has just lapped Christy. Meanwhile, Bryus now trying to stay with Flobberlob has just got himself a 3-second penalty, and that is going to really hurt his race if Flobberlob or Mental Sun or anything else. What's the gap to Mental Sun? Well, Flobberlob is currently 10.5 seconds away from Mental Sun, so it will take a miracle to catch Mental Sun, but miracles can happen in this sport. And you know, as Murray Walker once said, anything can happen in motorsport, and of course it usually does. So, but yeah, Mental Sun has been on form the entire way for this race. Meanwhile, I'm just going to look down the order, because the Alpine of Demonic Assassin is going round the outside of K9Q, but no, or is he? He's going to make the move on the inside of turn 2. He nearly runs off K9Q, but K9Q stays on the track and stays ahead in P7 for now. But DRS for the Alpine. Around the outside goes Demonic Assassin, and he does make the move stick on K9Q. Nicely done by the Alpine to get up into P7. K9Q now down into P8. It's a Sauber Audi P8, P9, and it is an Alpine Renault P7 for now. Incredible, as the Mercedes behind the Aston Martin, as the McLaren Mercedes of G Shifty ahead of the Scuderia Ferrari of Luco Sux, and then comes the other McLaren Mercedes of Derek Quay in P6, but they're not really close to each other, as the gap between G Shifty in P4 and Luco Sux in P5, it's 5 seconds, and the gap between Derek Quay and Luco Sux is about 2.7 seconds, and Derek Quay goes into the pits. So Derek Quay into the pits. Let's see what tyres he goes on. He is on hard tyres, but he will pit onto medium tyres. Nice stuff. There's an Alpine off. It's Christy off. In just on the exit of turn 4, he's done what Alan did earlier. He's just dropped on the exit of turn 4. Meanwhile, Derek Quay comes out as into the pits for, is that K9 Cube? It is. K9 Cube pits as Derek Quay comes out of the pits and is just ahead of Psycho Leds by the skin of his teeth. Meanwhile, K9 Cube is going to come out comfortably ahead of Raikkonen by about, probably more than 20 seconds, as down the inside for Psycho Leds. No, not making that move stick into turn 4, as just having a look down the order, there's not any closer battles apart from the one with Psycho and Derek as heading through. All the chats in the Facebook Live. But that 20-29 here in Bahrain. Let's have a look then. G Shifty going well. Let's see, as Bryce now follows. Bryce into the pits. Let's see what tyres he goes on. Also, G Shifty into the pits. So let's see. G Shifty comes into the pits for a set of. That wasn't. Was that red for? I can't see what tyre that was. Go on, wait till it. So Bryce on medium tyres and G Shifty. I wanted to check to make sure that I wasn't going silly. But no, Graham Shifty has gone onto the red soft tyres for the last 8 laps of the race. Will the soft tyres last? I don't know. They lasted about 6 laps for the Mercedes of Bryce. 6 or 7 laps. Oh god. As we have Flobbelob then. How does Flobbelob react to this? Does he pit or does he just stay out? He probably just stays out. That's probably the same response for Luco Sux. He could stay out as well, potentially. But I don't know. It depends how other drivers react to it. But Demonic Assassin ahead of Bryce by 4.2 seconds. Let's see if that gap closes in the next few laps. I'll keep you updated. As also G Shifty as well. He's going to be raging up to the back of Bryce. But yeah, softs could work. But it depends on the fuel as well, because the fuel could determine how long the softs last for. Because the more weight means more pressure on the tyres, which increases the amount of wear on the tyres and increases the rate in which they puncture. It's the fastest sector 2 of the race so far for Graham Shifty. Flobbelob gets a penalty for track limits, so that could save the race for Bryce. But Flobbelob, that must have been coming out of turn 2 and 3. He's got a penalty for track limits. 3 seconds, same as Bryce. So let's see how this plays out. No one else coming into the pit so far. Mental Sun still leading by an absolute gargantuan amount ahead of Flobbelob. I think, hello Max Clark on the Facebook Live. Nice to see him. Max, he's done many races. For those who watch the YouTube channel, they may have seen Green Army F1 around the Bahrain Grand Prix and how that aged, and aged very well, especially for a certain techno. For those who may have seen my pre-show for this race, you may have seen the pre-show is still up on my YouTube, by the way, as well, so you can go watch that. You can have a look at some of the best moments that I've covered from Bahrain before today, and I highly recommend you do. So 3, 2, 1, go. As now we head into the final corner with G Shifty, who is now within a second of Bryce. Bryce himself is within a second of the Alpine. This battle for fourth is heating up here today. Let's see, as G Shifty just set the fastest lap of the race. He is going to be flying, but is he going to be able to get ahead? This is the battle for P4, P5 and P6. Demonic Assassin in P4, Bryce in P5, and the McLaren of G Shifty in P6. Into the pits for the Haas of Psycho Lentz, who is now behind K9 Cube in 10th, as the Alpine of Christy has just been lapped by the man in P3, which is Luco Siux. And heading around turn 8, on board with the Mercedes, he nearly runs into the back of the Alpine. He's getting so much more grip out of his tyres compared to the Endstone made car. It's the battle between the Alpine Renault versus the Mercedes-Benz versus the McLaren Mercedes, as well as to the outside for Bryce and to P4 for Bryce. So the strategy worked. He's up into P4. Next target for Bryce is Luco Siux in P3. But remember that penalty for Bryce, all Demonic Assassin and G Shifty, all they need to do is stay relatively close to Bryce. They need to stay within 3 seconds of Bryce to be able to just snatch P4 back. As Demonic Assassin ahead of G Shifty. Can Shifty get ahead of Demonic Assassin heading into turn 1? If he can, this could put Bryce in danger, but he's not closing enough. As also Demonic Assassin, he got DRS from the Mercedes of Bryce ahead of him, so that is good for him. As we head out of turn 3 into turn 4, nicely done there. Is on the exit there. Oh, over the track limits again for Bryce. He's feeling the pressure. But also, those soft tyres, they looked quick to start with, but he's not able to make a move on Demonic Assassin. He's stuck in a little bit of a DRS train. Part of me is thinking, should G Shifty have just stayed out for one more lap to try and avoid this DRS train? Because now, you know, if he had stayed out for one more lap, he could have maybe got out ahead of the Mercedes rather than behind it. And it would have given him a better time to fight off the Alpine of Demonic Assassin. But lap 25 out of 29 now. And let's see, will G Shifty be able to get ahead of Demonic Assassin? It doesn't look like he is able to at the moment. He's very close, I'll give him that, but he's not close enough. He's 3/10 behind heading into the final corner. Let's see what he does. Heading out of the last corner, over the line for G Shifty, who is currently behind Demonic Assassin. He's now going to finally get close. Demonic Assassin doesn't have DRS. G Shifty does, and G Shifty does get ahead of Demonic Assassin and puts the McLaren ahead of the Alpine. But will the Alpine be able to fight back with DRS of his own now? Heading into turn 4. He's getting close, but no, not close enough for the Alpine to get ahead of the McLaren. And that is probably one of the last overtakes of the race being done. I think the next overtake we could be looking at is the overtake between Derek Quay, who should try and get ahead of Anarchy, who has just got a penalty for going over track limits at the kink before turn 5. As let's have a look. I think the Alpine, that looked closer on the map than it was. Let's see. Anarchy is struggling on older tyres compared to Derek Quay. Derek Quay, who has made his second pit stop on the fresher tyres, now to the inside, now making the move into turn 11 and getting ahead slightly, momentarily, but not enough yet. He's got to go around the outside at turn 12. Beautiful stuff by the McLaren of Derek Quay, who gets ahead of the number 11 of Anarchy in P8 ahead of his teammate. So K9 Cube currently 13 seconds away from his teammate after the strategy, and into the pits for Anarchy. Why is he in the pits now? Oh, that's such a shame. He should have stayed out, because if he had stayed out, he would have definitely been ahead of K9 Cube. But he must have had tyre trouble, and on lap 26 out of 29, 3 laps to go, he's come into the pit for soft tyres. But will he come out ahead of, well, he's behind his teammate, K9 Cube now. Is he going to be ahead of Raikkonen? Yes, he is. But that is a shock. I didn't expect to see that. Well, that is probably the last overtake of the race, providing everything else goes to plan and goes to standard. But this is motorsport. It could very much change in the next few laps. As got easily enough time on the recording to make it to the end of the race, so that is good. So Mental Sun then, 2 laps to go. Lap 27 out of 29 now for the V-Carb. Two more tours around the Bahrain circuit for Mental Sun, and I think for the moment there's no overtakes or nothing to cover, but there is a little something going on in Bahrain and in the Middle East at the moment. The LP is actually getting close, so I'll do that bit in a minute. As into turn 1, will Demonic Assassin get ahead? No, he won't. He's not close enough yet. Those soft tyres dying off for G Shifty. Is he going to make a move into turn 4? He's getting closer. Not making the move, but he gets within 1/10 of a second. And Christy, Demonic Assassin's teammate, who is currently in last of the running order, he's just spun out of turn 4 in front of his teammate, who is trying to make a move on Demonic Assassin on G Shifty. The Demonic Assassin trying to make a move, but let's see, heading around, but. If you get fastest lap point, the fastest lap point, I forgot about that. That could be why you made that final pit stop then, but I think it is held currently by G Shifty if I'm not mistaken. I can't see. Yeah, it is. It's G Shifty who holds the fastest lap right now with a 1:31.0. As 3/10 separating these two. I think lap 28, coming to the end of the race after we cover this battle, I think, it's a spin for G Shifty. He loses the car at the last corner, and this could open the door for Demonic Assassin. He had to back out the throttle, as Lucas Yux gets a penalty now for track limit violations. To the inside for Demonic Assassin. Is he going to make the move? He's on the inside, he's getting closer and closer. Around the outside of turn 2, he makes it stick into P5. And the gamble by G Shifty to go onto the soft tyres didn't work at all. Bryce is running away in P4 and outside of the penalty gap. And Demonic Assassin is now in P5, and G Shifty has to settle for P6. Incredible. But, I think we're coming on to the final lap now. Before I talk about Mental Sun and his dominant performance today, there is a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth as we are racing at Bahrain, but near to Bahrain there has been some harrowing events in terms of, from what I know, strikes and war stuff. So just condolences to people affected there, and we wish them well. But Mental Sun has gone round today, entering turn 4 on the final lap. G Shifty, I didn't see that coming. G Shifty now back ahead of Demonic Assassin, heading into the final corner. Will Demonic Assassin be able to get back ahead though? Because now he has the DRS. So heading into turn 1, Demonic Assassin gets ahead of G Shifty. But now, as G Shifty will now get DRS on Demonic Assassin, heading around the outside at turn 2, as there's an Aston Martin off, that is Bernald's. As meanwhile, Demonic Assassin ahead of G Shifty, but for how much longer? For a bit longer. As, the recording has stopped. As now we have, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. As we have G Shifty behind Demonic Assassin, and no other move made between those two. We'll cut to that out later on, but for Mental Sun today, he started first. He has been first for the entire way, and he will win the Bahrain Grand Prix here in Slav Talk Racing. Mental Sun has the speed of something that I cannot say. The speed to leave it speechless as G Shifty spins on the final lap. He's now behind Derek Way, as also Christy has now unlapped himself ahead of G Shifty. Dramas Flobbelob takes P2 ahead of Luco Sierks. Then comes Bryus in P4. Then comes the triumphant Demonic Assassin to take P5. Then comes Derek Quay ahead of his teammate as a spin at the end of the race for the Alpine of Christy, who then lets G Shifty relap him. As now here come the Sauber pair, Anarchy leading K9 Cube home. And let me check, did he get the fastest lap? Yes, he did. Anarchy did get the fastest lap at the end of the race. K9 Cube gets ahead of his teammate due to penalties. And Raikkonen will be the last one. No, it will be Psycho Leds who will be the last one to cross the line to end the Bahrain Grand Prix. Incredible racing, I have to say so myself. There we go, over the line. And that is it. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure to commentate here today. Sorry it all looks very different. Not much I can do to change it at the moment. But we have done a commentary, and it's been fun. But yeah, I'll get the race director in a minute so that Arimus is happy. I'll get the YouTube stuff sorted tomorrow, and the video should be out tomorrow night, I suspect. So keep an eye out for that one on the YouTube. But everyone on the stream, on the Twitch stream, on the Facebook stream, thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you so much to the drivers for putting on the show. Thanks again to Arimus for having me. And that is Mental Sun on the podium, lifting the trophy over the main straight. Nicely done by the championship leader. Let me just get the... Can it load and give me the thing? But congrats to Mental Sun. Nicely done. Is it going to show me the race? Oh no, it didn't show me the race director. It was meant to show me that. Oh well. Damn it! Right. I was waiting for it to show me the results, but it didn't even show me it. Well, never mind. Well, thank you very much for watching. And... yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thanks to all the drivers. Thanks to Arimus for having me again for Slav Talk Racing. Thank you so much to everyone on the Facebook Live for watching. And thank you to everyone on the Twitch stream for watching. Thank you to everyone on the YouTube who may have been watching as well. Thank you so much. And goodbye. And we're off the air.